Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Beaded Lace from CZT Suzanne McNeill. Oh, this is a neat one. I know that it's been out for some time, but recently put out on Tangle Patterns. So if you have not subscribed to Tangle Patterns, do so. Highly recommend. It's a great resource. There's some other resources out there too, that I use, but this is really one of the main ones. So this is a neat tangle, and if you follow day to day, you saw this already, and it's on the cover art anyway. But I talked about it. It's a nice fill in. It could be a background as well. That's what I use it in the one. But it's so nice because it's pretty easy. All right. Yeah, I say that. However, usually these offset type of grids get me. So here's what I'm going to do. I did my version of the step out with a little bit of a change. And what I'm going to do, and I always like to start in the middle when I'm doing some kind of a grid and then work my way out. So I'm putting 3 orbs, that kind of starts it, and then maybe I'll take one out this way and this way, and then fill in here because I can kind of eyeball the grid, right? And I'm just going to turn my tile for ease. And these, of course, can be filled in. So what I like to do is set a bigger grid, because when you look at the offset grid, it's like, okay, what part is kind of regular and square? And then afterwards, I can come in the center here of, so looking at these 4, okay, in the center here again, same thing down here, same thing down here. And voila, we come up with the same result. I suppose you could, I could have done put my tile on the diagonal of the way I want it to look, and then kind of did straight orbs. That's another option. But usually when I've thought about it, I'm like, oh well, sure, I could have done that, but then you have to think. It's like, well, what direction am I going again? And I'm going to go ahead and fill these in. This is why I'm using this graphic 1 pen, just to make it easier. If you've got it makes it, well, easier, quicker. However, you have to be careful because it is also then wetter, and you want to make sure not to stick your fingers in, then you get fingerprints all over the place. Always nice and handy to have the graphic one, or some bigger nib pens on hand for filling in. All right. So now we have the grid. You can see how nice and uneven things are. I'm here to prove that it doesn't matter what you do. You can have a decent result. All right. Okay, we're going to put this guy away. Now, the next step. So looking at it this way, where it's off, there we go. This way, where it's offset, we're gonna go on the diagonal and look at what. See, I said, did I follow? Where did I don't even know where. Oh, there. I see where I hit it. Gotta be careful. You know what? I should flip it this way. So I'll work diagonal. Let it, let this part dry since that was the last. Okay. And I will start in the middle just because. Now this one. It can remind, if you've done the Tangle Fife, it is similar, isn't it? But we're using these giant orbs in the center. And the next step is doing curve lines. In Fife, you see the seed shape. So like here, we're hollowing the seed shape. The seed shape would be, say, in the center of these. So same idea, but it's just, same idea, but different because we're using these big orbs. And like I said, we're just going on the diagonal. And it helps if I have some arch there. That's always nice. And let's just jump up here. Oops. Okay. There we go. Then, let's see if I can do this without smearing that anymore. And you could go off of the page. I might at the end. I don't know yet. You will know because you'll have seen the picture of it already. All right, so then we're going to go diagonal the other way. And what's nice about tangles like this is if you want to have it, kind of stay within a certain, stay within the orbs and not go off the edge, you can. There was another one, it was Wi-Fi Power just a few days ago, where I mentioned that's one that is like, there's not a way to do this, where you can kind of keep it contained in, whatever the grid pattern that you end up doing. All right. And then we add some more. So I try to get these a little bit fatter, but sometimes it just doesn't work, and it's all okay in the end. We're going to just put some orbs in the center of these. I'm going to call them, actually, I don't need to do them diagonally. It doesn't really matter. Now, while this one is easy, sometimes the easy ones, you kind of take some things for granted, like going too fast. So that's why I was on purpose being a bit slower, just so that way I can get, I should have done it even on these shapes, then I might have gotten more curve. But you know what? As you can see, it still looks just fine. Now it just looks like a bunch of X's. So I do think, and you can play with how the distance between your orbs, but I'm thinking I'll just take this to the edge. So if you were going to do that, it's also nice that you can kind of do it after the fact. What I need, I can't fit any more of those, but it's these ones, and I'm just going to do a little half right here on the edge. And then we'll fit these little partials in. Oh, I hit that again. It just wants to be smeary right there. And then I can add some shading and maybe, disguise that a bit. And this one too, she doesn't really, thinking about shading, and I love it when Tangle creators put in their, what their idea of, for shading is. It's always helpful. This one you could, well, it depends on how big your grid is, because you could have a lot of fun with it. Heck, you could have a lot of fun with, filling in, coloring in things. It doesn't really have the lines. Well, although we could, just like I would do any seed shape, could put some graphite on either side and make that kind of glowy. Could put graphite inside these. Actually, I think I might like that idea. All right. And then these guys, because there's not really anything to go to, these will just go right off the page. I love tangles that you can do this where it's like you can have the afterthought and it's fine, And that one, this one's a little off, but it's okay. Here's something too. If you have nails, even if you have a little bit of nails, if you notice, I'm putting my nails on the tile to avoid putting my fingers in it, and that is an option. And just a neat tangle. So while I finish this, in the description section you will find links to the step outs. I always do my, that one's a little bit wonky, but okay. I always do my own version and then link to the creator of the tangle. Oops. Well, I'll get to that. So you'll find that there. Also, I have a link to my website and Facebook page. So if you like me enough to follow me, would love to have you. I do classes twice a week online. So if you are looking for a way to, just to have some extra fun with tangling, again, come and join us. We have a ball. All right, I think I got them all. Now I got to put the orbs in. Could have done the orbs as I went along, couldn't I have? Mm-hmm. That's okay. Sometimes it's really nice to just do step by step, and that's all you focus on. That's what helps with that meditative feeling, I call it the side effects of the meditative part. But doing each step, and then when you're done, go to the next, and then when you're done, go to the next, and then you see your end result. All right, so I mentioned classes, and you can find them in the description section or on my website. The link's there. Also, if you happen to be on Facebook, and I think I'm going to follow Mr. Joe, if you're watching. I love what you did with this in our session where you made these look like actual holes. So I'm just putting a little crescent and a little extra pen on the one side, because I thought that looked so cool. But if you happen to be on Facebook and would like to join in the conversation that we're having, would love to have you. The link is there in the description section for our private Tangle Addicts Facebook group. There are 3 questions that you have to answer in order to gain entry. I just want to make sure you're aware of that. And let's see, what else is there? Well, you know what? Actually, I didn't say this part, but if you're enjoying this, if you don't mind clicking the like button, I would appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet and like it enough to see more, would love to have you subscribe to the channel. On the channel itself, if you click on my picture or my name, that'll take you to the homepage of the channel. There you will find links to playlists. I've been, the whole idea on my website, which is going to be, I've said this like 12 times, I need to sequester myself and just really get it done, or find someone that will do it for me. Although I do like doing things myself. Oh, see, look at how neat that is. Anyway, the idea behind my website was to categorize tangles by their characteristics. So like this, it's a fill-in tangle. It's a grid-based tangle because it's a dot grid. And I will for sure put them in those categories. Oh, also high contrast, because with the filled-in orbs, that gives us some contrast, and so I would put it in that category. I have a number of categories there, so you can take a peek. I'm thinking, let's see, what do we want to highlight? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start just in one direction, and we'll see how we like it, because maybe I'll just stop there. Shading is fun to play with, and just doing one, as I'm thinking, just doing the one side might look rather neat and kind of give it a neat, kind of the 3D effect, kind of like the what I did in the orbs there has. Well, this one is a bit floppy on the tip. You don't want to mash them in, but then you don't want them. This is a brand new one, and it was just being a little floppy there. There we go. Oop, I see a little portion of a line I need to put in. Oh, look at how neat that. I just looked up at the camera. Look at how neat that's looking. Oh, I just love shading. It is the magic. And right here. So when you do partials, always kind of keep an eyeball out for just those little bitty pieces, because it really, oops, and here's another one. Oh, and I see another one. Or do I? This one. Yep, here, here. It makes it convincing. That's what I call it. And could just put a little bit there, a little bit there. You know what? Well, let's see. If I did the top, if I did this side too. Sometimes you see one side, and then in my mind I transfer it to the other, just so you know why I'm hesitating. I'm like, huh. And then I usually go, oh yeah, let's just try it. Which is what we're going to do. But you can see how, I mean, just even the one side, it has a neat effect. But let's do both. And let's say, okay, and then, yep. And I'm turning the tile because I want to have the tip of the pencil on the line that I don't want to go over. And so I always do that versus reaching over type of thing. And I've done that. It just, you run the risk of getting the graphite where you might not want it. Okay. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. We'll see if I did. This is usually when I find out. And then too, if you want to have a little bit more dramatic effect, just add some more graphite. And you could just add some more right at the line, and just be careful to blend it into the gradient that's already there. And then you'll get just a really neat effect. Also, I don't know why, I'm feeling like the graphite is not wanting to move. If you ever have that, and oops, there's one. One thing is good to do, is test out your graphite and how it moves on your paper. If you're using something smooth, it seems like it usually doesn't want to move that well. And then you could also put your tortillon more on its side so that these little ridges will grab the tortillon better and move it around for you. I haven't looked at the camera yet. I like to be surprised. It's so fun. Oh, neat. Neat. And honestly, could do all of them. I think I'm going to leave it like that because that's just kind of neat. That is interesting. I don't know why that's being... Oh, let me stop moving the table. Every little bump seems like it wants to make it vibrate there. Super neat. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you clicked like. Hope you subscribed. Hope you join us on some classes sometime. Did I mention that most of them are free? I do have some that are paid, but I do have a lot of them that are free. So come join us. Oops, right here. That'll help. There we go. Oh, just neat. All right. Oh, wait, there's more. And so having this tangle in mind, taking a look at what I did on our, this was our Tangle Time session. This is one of the free sessions. Yesterday. Seems like so long ago. I decided to use this one as a background, and my pen choice was a little darker than I wanted to, so I spread chalk pencil all over it, and then some graphite to have some fun with shading. But using it as a background, I was thinking that this would be a nice trellis that could be used, and it kind of is. Now, had I done it a little bit bigger, then it would have looked more like a trellis, but this just kind of creates a neat background texture. And then on this one that we did yesterday, I decided to make it just a little corner decoration. And what did and then because there's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle, meaning nothing you do is ever a mistake. You just go with it. I started these in the wrong direction, and so I, again, just went with it, and so I just connected all of the orbs, and it still looks neat. So it doesn't matter. Oh, neat tangle. All right. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I wish you happy tangling.